Good morning, everybody. For the futures traders, gold has some nice rev strat 30 at the bottom of its try this morning. All right. So coming into today, we have a few rev strats that are a little bit more chop shop than the rest, though. MDT and TMO in the healthcares with some PMG, but we're getting late in the month. And we want stuff that has long green bars, so it's not the best stuff there. Baidu is also going to be slightly rev strat, but it is gapping today, so we're going to keep that off the list. So 122s, we'll make sure MDT is on there since healthcares are already going up. If we go to inside bars, we will see Google inside day. Goog or Goog L, depends on which one you want to trade, but it's going to be inside day up, 2-2 week up in force this morning. If we go to ASTS, this is one from the free trading chat. They're talking about it yesterday. It looks pretty solid. For the smaller account guys, you got inside day momentum hammer 2-on-2 continuation to trigger the 3-2-2 on the week. Fun to say and fun to do above 30.94. If we go to love from the gap list, this is one we want to keep an eye on, right? It was on the gap list, and we continue to watch that because they'll set up things like this. So love, you'd have the daily trigger above 2664, and we do have some previous range we can still come back through, similar to Kroger. If we go to get the templates in here. All right. If we go to Kroger, you can see the really big move in Kroger that we got from your measured move on the 30 to create that winning position, reduce it, add back to it, and just let that thing go. It's still 3-2 up week this week, still going, still good in that type of stuff from the gap list. So if we go to love, this is also technically still good. 2-1-1 has not reversed the day. So above that, it'd be momentum measured move and get it all going again. On the downside today, there's potentially things like Norfolk Southern could be a little bit of a Momo shoot week. Would have full time frame continuity down, and it has the 3-1 shooter day today. And then on the upside, we got one more AI. So we'll have Goog, ASTS, AI, Love inside, and then bearish. We will have Norfolk Southern potentially. And then for your 2-2s, I have DKNG, AVGO, Uber. So DKNG could become the 2-2-2 day above 38.75. It'd be a signal, just reversal, right? Not actionable signal. But if we go to the month, that is rev strat month in force there. So that's something I'd want to know about. Because you'd reconfirm the month with a reversal day. If we go to EVGO, this will have hammer actionable signal above 165. Come on. Above 165.50 would be your daily trigger, and then We can take the rev strat month up above 172.42 if it can get moving today. It's part of the semis. And semis also has the hammer for the simultaneous break. You can also potentially look at things like NVIDIA rev strat. Which I can add to the list there. In the semis above 118.18, just about. And go like this. I want to change the way this looks here. Aim at inside week up. Yep, that would be a 2-2 to trigger the inside week up. Most of the semis are going to look something like that. Whereas things like AVGO, it's not an inside week, but a 3, which shows aggression. So that's why I've got that one on my list. And then NVIDIA will be continuation, which means it was stronger last week. So gold is trying to get that rev strat 30 going. I don't know if anyone is trading the futures in here today, but you can see gold, how control, they're trying to change it to the intraday 60 guys and the monthly guys against the day and week. Problem is we want to change or negate that day/week. And if we could do that, then we would have no evidence of a seller anymore. Since the day and week are still confirming each other, that's still going to give us issues. See though, if that 30 rev strat works, it would negate that weekly open and then change week 60 month control with all the intraday guys against the day. So it's not far from changing that around this morning after triangle day out. Is aim at PMG on the weekly. We want the pivots nice and close together. That's the main thing. So you do have some PMG, yes. They're just not quite as close up in here as, we like them if they're really, really close, and then you take them all out in one day. But we will see. CMG, yeah, that is on my list for just continuation. I guess I forgot to put that list up in here. Yeah, the only thing is you got to remember CMG, the main reason it did so well is because of that CEO. And now that CEO is at Starbucks. Which I'm curious if he's going to be able to bring Starbucks back. I'm not 100% sure about that, but Robots, yeah, that would help. I wonder if the robots put more chicken if you record the robots, or if that's only a person thing. All right, we got about 13 minutes. So that being said, on all that stuff, SPY's be gapping up into all-time highs. So there's still, you can see 3-2 continuation still good, which means it never reversed that, and we're just going to all-time highs, and that means we've taken out all the previous range. Q's still has not done that, so it's obviously relatively weak, but you still have range to come back through is what we would want to get at there. And then Dow Jones already at the all-time highs with that RevStrat PMG day. And then IDBM also kind of like the Qs still has previous range to come back through. So prefer that stuff. We'll see what comes of it since they're gapping up all today. We do have to hit the gappers, and we'll see who's gapping down first. It's gonna be where the weakest stuff is gonna be. So SEDG was up pretty good yesterday, gap down this morning. So we'll see if anything comes of that. Looks like it opens at 60 and down. We go to space. Used to be somebody. Could turn into full time frame continuity down, potential outside week if things were to start falling apart in there. We go to team. Team's going inside day down, which could take last week's lows for the try. Puts it down in here, another couple bucks lower, not much. And it looks like there's not too much to talk about in here today on the gap list. On the downside. Now on the upside, we're going to have Intel, which was on yesterday's gap list, following through from the 2-2 week. And I believe they had some news with Amazon overnight, but you're going to see coming into your weekly magnitude, and this was also on our observations list yesterday as something to keep trading into the close. So Intel, and you're going to see this. So notice this takes 4 hours to set up, and then the rev strat, boom, green day, green week, green 60, create the winning position, partial into the close, and then you're in, which is what the whole gap list is for, and why we say we want to discern where those buyers and sellers are when we disseminate a gap up or down. Because then you can go in there later the day and then trade your signals. Get MBLY. MBLY is going to be opening 2-2 week, but it's been a lot higher, right? But if you go on the year, really red, quarter, still super red, month, still not negating that. So, it's a maybe. It will be on the list. MBLY. Dell on an upgrade. It's inside week and up in force, trying to trigger hammer month with some now news confirming that. Microsoft is going to be gapping up continuation 2-2 to start the week, 2 up with the month hammer in force, one of the stronger tech names, shot. It's still an inside month. HPE will be hammer week on an upgrade. Looks like right at the open this morning. Unity went 3 yesterday, got an upgrade today. You can see they tried to sell it down, tried to buy it up, close back inside the range. So unless you can get out of this, which, maybe they go 260s or something and cremate all these guys back up to the highs, but we'll see. PLTR. So PLTR, ever since the gap up week last week with your 2-2, while the whole market was not a 2 to the upside, still good, which confirmed your quarterly inside Barton Force, which confirmed your 2-2 continuation year. So PLTR, they're still trying to go back up to all-time highs. We've been talking about that one for over like 15 months now. Geez. But looks like you get slight gap up, so just be aware of potential profit taking after getting your gap. SMMT could be a bearish name. And on the down gaps, we'll just put SEDG team. It's the only two ones there. But this is from the gap list many few days ago, but this could become 2-2 PMG day after some grind to the upside. You got the day week and 64 control. If that's the case, you'd have a 2-2-60 this morning on it. And we will put BMRN on the continuation list for the potential strat attack to the downside. We have got about 5 minutes. I'm going to make sure we get all the charts loaded up in here this morning. Whew, wow, these. All right, here's the open. SPY opens as a 2 up, takes out all-time highs. AVGO opens as hammer 2-2 reversal on a Tuesday. SMMT opens as a 2 up, 2 down bearish reversal on a Tuesday. SMMT conflicted with the monthly. All-time highs exhaustion risk. Healthcare becomes 2 up, 2 down reversal day bearish. TMO could become 2 down, 2 down, which would actually be a 2-day inside bar pattern down pivot machine gun TMO if healthcare is continuing to be weak. Dell on the gap list gaps into short-term exhaustion with some profit taking to start. XLI discretionaries are inside day up this morning with Amazon and Tesla leading. Tesla is almost a inside week up to trigger a monthly enforced Tesla crowd favorite. Copart 322 4-hour with a 322 week in force, or could be 322 week in force. Copart CPRT. Love about to become momentum measured move 2112 up day above 2664. Love would cause 3-2 week expansion. Love. BMRN 2 down day continuation again with a 3-2 reversal month with a 322 pivot machine gun on the year. So BMRN, you got yearly pivot machine gun, could drop another like $15 pretty quick. For anyone that's willing to play with some spreads, TMO is close to its double inside day down, still not doing it yet. Love is almost a 3-1-2 4-hour up. They're equal highs right now. AI starts as inside day up. Google starts with slight profit taking, gap up, slight profit taking to start the day inside on the 3-minute Google. What we'd love to see is can Google set up a rev strat 3-minute or something good like that to confirm its daily up. NVIDIA starts as 2 up, 2 down on the 5-minute. So if you're going to get a good signal, you need the 222 to re-trigger the day and get it moving. Semis start as 2 up, 2 down, 5-minute as well. So we'll see. Roblox could become a 2-2 PMG on a Tuesday. I wonder if anything will come of that. We see the communications really going, and Roblox, although a part of communications, we don't see them really participating. No signal so far on low. Build-A-Bear Workshop still seeing some pretty strong buy-in this week, confirming on Tuesday. It's conflicted on the monthly basis. Also seeing Square following through from Sarah's weekend list. SEDG on the gap list is gap down buy, trying to go 2 up, 2 up to start the week. Energies are starting the day 2 up on the 60s, 4-hour inside up. So energies we mentioned to swing long last week, and we're still 2 closer to 2 up again, pit back into some previous range on the day. XOM, you can see 2 day, 2 still good. So as long as it's not a 2 down, they're still trying to do that. You can see XOM on a 2-day chart. Notice they reconfirm what we know to be true. 2 reversal works. 2 up again reconfirms. Where's it going? Up there. So we want to see those energies still continue to come back through. And we got OIH on the week. 2 week is in force. XLE on the week. Closer to doing that. Not yet. And XOP on the week. 2 week in force. Hammer XOP. So all this stuff still looks good. Trying to come back through the previous range in the energies. XLV is inside 5-minute, trying to reclaim previous low days, so they could have triangle layout. MDT no trigger, so no trade. DKNG 2 on a Tuesday. DKNG confirming a RevStrat hammer month with magnitude much higher. DKNG. Regional banks start off as gap up sell on a Tuesday back into Monday's range. So changing a little bit of what we know to be true. Still nowhere near negating the week. Healthcare is still at the lows inside Fiverr, so no reclaim reversal or anything yet. TMO could become RevStrat 5 down and take the day sideways 2-day pattern down, which would cause a 322 week. It's kind of the only healthcare I have that could be a bearish one. We still see communications pretty strong, discretionary pretty strong, momentum fiber, which is Tesla and Tesla continuation fiber. It's already at last week's highs, continuation. So see if that sets up some reversals. Looks like IBM is the weakest index this morning. 2210ers back down, and the rest are chopping them up. Communication sector is pretty strong. Google on the inside day did give you the 2-2-2-5er, up they go. And you got the 2-2 week, you got the inside day, and then the 5-minute was a third additional signal. Now it's going to be closer to just continuing to the upside pivot machine gun. You can see on the daily basis here. Back through previous range. So far, NVIDIA, no 2225er. Their 2210ers gap up sell to start the day, still coming back in. The semis gap up 2210ers back down to start the day, trying to reclaim Monday's range. Still not having the strongest week here. In the semis, tech is outperforming a bit. That means AVGO is also gap ups and selling starting the day here. Microsoft momentum hammer 15 gap on the tech with a 2-2 week in force or 2-2 month in force, bright green. Microsoft momentum 15. Love takes the double inside day up, momentum measured move. Love. It's already hit its daily targets. Google reconfirms the daily signal and force 15ers with Microsoft. Norfolk Southern could be 15er 322 to cause inside day 312 down, which would cause continuation weak. Just one that I see it's a little weaker. Not really a simultaneous break. It'd be more so natural selling in the transports. Alta 322 month Alta. Nice. You got the rest of the month to buy it and go after it too. And you got Buffett coming in behind you. I'd like to see them triangle layout before trying to do anything crazy in there. So it's like Meta, Google, Microsoft, strongest tech moving up on the day. And then you got Amazon, a really big movement today. Tesla, although they did go up this morning, they are a little weaker. So it's really the big 7 names. And Nvidia is still gap up sell 15ers. Same with AVGO is 3-2, 15ers back down. It is a 3, so I'll see what comes of that. Come on, love, give us 30-39. 3-2 week love with the double inside day and force love, giving potential rev strap month 1-3 love. And then that would 3-2 the quarter, which could inside up the year, which, pretty interesting. Like Microsoft's not working on the Momo. Do some profit taking Google after the highs. Team from bottom of the try exhaustion risk is 2215 on the gap down. There is slight lower low. Team's a little bit spready, by the way. Dell starts as 15er, gap up, 2-2 back down from daily short-term exhaustion. Dell. Energy is still 3-2 up, 15ers at the highs in XLE, XOP, and OIH. They're all just still gunning. So energies, we're seeing that rotation starting to come in, kind of like we were expecting with crude oil starting to firm up a bit more. We will see, if that keeps going for us. So just let them rip, do their thing. Healthcares have inside tenors at the lows, so healthcares are still a little weaker. Sadly, TMO took the morning highs, so they're still chopping that one up. Google some 5-minute triangle layout. Shop, good gapper name. Yep, you could have the 2215 down, right? Gives you 322 on the 30 in 6 minutes, which would give you outside 60 shop. And it's still an inside month, so you got this broadening formation during inside bar higher time frame, like so. So anytime shop is below 7370, it's potential 3-day. Let's see if that sets up. Technology is still gap up sell. So you got the 2-2 tenors back down on the gap up tech. Semis at the tenors down, and you're going to have the 30s coming in as well. So some tech weakness to start off Tuesday here. Do have some broadening formation action on the Qs on the oneers. So you got big old oneer broadening formation to start the morning. Week and month are still green, conflicted with the 60 in day. And you see Qs on the 30 try right to left, looks like this. But it is opening as a 2-up, so buyers still gain control to start the morning. They're just not as aggressive as the sellers. Healthcares take the morning lows out from your tenors, 212 down, confirming the 2-2 day. We also see staples 2 up, 2 down today, so some rotation out of the defensive stuff. As we approach the second 30s of the day, we do have some inside fivers forming on most of these indexes and sectors. DKNG is still good, 222 to start the day to confirm RevStrat month in force. It's like Love, after poking up, they do some profit taking, but they're staying above daily and last week's highs for now. AI starts as 2215 back down after taking the inside day up, so it's RevStratting a bit. We'll see what sets up. Norfolk Southern does 322 on the 15, so it could take the day in down with full time frame continuity Norfolk Southern. And that would be natural selling in the transportation sector. Second 30s of the day open. Qs opens closer to inside bar, maybe a 2 down. IDBM opens inside 30, closer to 2 down. Dow Jones opens inside 30, closer to a 2-2 reversal. Dow Jones, after a slight gap up to all-time highs. SPY opens closer to a 2230 on the gap up as well. So closer to fivers down on some of this stuff, but a lot of inside 30s. We'll see. Healthcare is much closer to reconfirming those sideways tenors down. TMO 22215er, which could cause the day inside and down on the 2-day chart. TMO. Love still at the highs. Discretionary still at the highs, closes inside 15. And it's actually measured move discretionaries, which is your Amazon and your Teslas. Tesla measured move 15 with the month and week signals in force. Tesla. Tesla measured move 15 to confirm weekly and monthly signals in force, goes instantly, boom, $1.76 winning position, good. And you'll see with the XLY simultaneous break, giving you additional evidence on that. Like we had said, XLY tells you Tesla, Amazon, and then Tesla. 15er tells you to buy Tesla. Now Tesla, you have how many signals? And this is so important. You have a 2-2 day. That is good all day. You have an inside week up. That is good all week, so long as it stays up. You have an 2-2 month. So notice this is like a perfect setup where you have intraday, which confirms day, which confirms week, which confirms month, and which also confirms a quarter. So we have a reversal from the quarter all the way down to the 15 continuation, confirming every reversal that is occurring. So we got 15 minutes for that to keep gunning. And then love is also technically discretionary, right? It's your love sack company. So that is also in that same kind of sector, you'd say. What took 3 tries? That went instantly on Tesla's. NASDAQ with the low of day broadening formation, if we go back to the Qs on the 1er try, they're like an 80% retracement of that range on the Qs, so they're still a little weak in here below the daily open in the Qs, so just be aware of that. See if they negate the daily open though. All right. So depending on how you want to do it, you could reduce some Tesla or wait for that inside 5 to see if it's inside up or down. But ideally reduce and then create that winning position to see if we can't have that keep going with no risk. NASDAQ is still 30-60s inside on the Qs, so you just got to be very careful of that if you're playing any of that type of stuff. Staples is looking like it firms up, so that's a good thing. Healthcare's firms up, real estate's firms up. Tech is just 2 up and 1 to start the morning. Qs, here it is. They're negating the daily open, at least they're attempting to. And they're unable to with some profit taken right away. Aim at 22215, nice. Tesla, you definitely have your reduction in there, so that's good. We'll see if it can set up some rev strats or something on the 5. NASDAQ's pretty volatile up in here, still chopping them up inside that inside 60. A slight triangle the outs, but you can see your continuity. You'll notice this 10-minute on NASDAQ occurred back through the previous range with full time frame continuity, at least giving a magnitude there. Still would keep an inside 30-60, which is the only issue. And that's where, I don't know if you saw me doing it on the stream, but I was looking at the Q's extended trading hours to see what that broadening formation looked like, and it's the same thing as the NASDAQ. But you'll see like this, boom, boom, and then you see they change control to the 5-minute guys. 5-minute guys give control to the 60-week and month, and then change in continuity above the daily open. Now everyone turns into a buyer. Gives you high a day. Now they've hit first targets, and that Q's intraday try 1 minute has 100% completed, giving you slight higher highs after a slight lower lows down in here. All the energies are still just slight triangle out on the fivers and then going back up. So again, we're kind of just holding. We got the 2-day chart in our favor, so you got every 2 days to confirm negate this stuff. There's no really stress there. Tesla, you got some profit taking fiver. We'll see if this next 5 minute in 1 minute, actually right now, is going to confirm a negate. Tesla. You can see NASDAQ Q's still just inside bar stuck. 5 minute is now a 1, which gives us no intraday control. So you can see 225 are still good, right? It hasn't reversed that. So control, we can say it's still going up at this point, just not in control to the upside. We need to see another 2 up fiver to get that stuff going. There it is. Let's see some 5 or 2 up on the NASDAQ. It'll give us 32215 are in force, make high a day. And you can see Q's there, 32225er. Fun to say and fun to do. Up they are. Can't believe I missed XLY on the scans last night with the inside day. My question is, who in the discretionary consumer cyclical is the inside day and force up? Domino's Pizza and TPR. Something about that seems like we're missing out something. What, Airbnb, DKNG, LI, Tesla. Coin 2-2 day trying to take the week up. Yeah, not terrible. You're setting up the month for next month. Just remember that. Tesla did inside 5 down, so it's going to negate what we know to be true after high day, short-term exhaustion. NASDAQ still stuck inside the morning range, coming back in. So you can see they make the new high again, but Now they're triangling them out again, sub-trying here on the NASDAQ, still stuck inside the morning range. Uber close to going inside day up to trigger 2-2 week pivot machine gun to trigger month. So you got domino set up in Uber. It is currently a 2260 in force. VMC from the continuation list last night is strat attack 2 up to start the week. Along with Adobe is strat attack to the downside 2 down to start the week with a 3-2 week potential 3-month Adobe. Uber goes flying, boom, 60 cents right away off the daily to trigger the week, to try and trigger the month. And you're going to see, so Uber, your daily triggers this. Target. Next target is up in here, 73.61, which should get the month moving just after that. You'll notice when that day broke, the 60 is 2 reversal. That is 1 reversal. The day goes continuation. That is 2 signals in force. The week goes signal in force. Now 3 signals in force. So it goes from 1 signals to 3 signals. 1 signal to 3 signals in 1 minute. Completely changes what's occurring. Now, it's got to stay up there. But notice how it will go instantly, and even the 1 minute there. 312 just breaks and gets going. So now 74.46, I believe, is that monthly trigger. 74.46, yes. So we need 73.61, 74.46 if they're going to get that going. And it's got to stay up. If it does not, then we get the break-even stop, look for new ways in. SPY is a little stronger than the NAS, taking out the morning highs, whereas the Qs has not done that. IDBM has taken out the morning highs at that good morning try as well. You'll see they all similar 5-minute little tries in there. Good Dow Jones. So that's also taken out the morning highs. So it's just Qs showing relative weakness, unable to take the morning highs in the tech. So silver did change back in full time frame continuity up. Gold takes the inside 60 up, so slightly late to the rev strat 30, but there's your negation of the week open gold, about 26080. So gold could set up maybe additional intraday signals in here to try and get up into 26137. So they're like 13 points. Discretionary sector still just gunning. CMG is a part of that, still going. Tesla, not seeing it yet, but Looks like Tesla is 2 up, showing some buyer exhaustion on the 30, so we might need to triangle some out and get an additional way in there. Staples on the 2230, they are firmed back up, 2 going 3-day. Coca-Cola is the closest to taking last week's highs in the staples. It is 3-2 up expansion on the 30 if you're looking for a staples one for the small account guys too. Yeah, look at UAL. It's still been pretty good from when those 3-2-2-30s occurred to create the winning position. Looks like AAL has been a little weaker than that one. DAL. You'll see DAL also pretty solid off that stuff. NASDAQ's going for another triangle layout. ES is coming off morning highs, so we don't know. Is it, is it gonna come all the way back through, stop them out or not? Dow Jones is holding up still pretty good at the morning highs. Same with the IWM, so not much fear there. Coca-Cola 3-2-30 is about much closer to taking the week in force. Ooh, Pepsi, you're gonna have a looks like 3-2 reversal 30 we missed, but you have outside 60, maybe a 3-3 day could re-trigger the inside week up in Pepsi. GM 2-2 week, General Motors confirms what Tesla's trying to do, but Tesla currently RevStrat 15 trying to take out the morning guys, wrangle they out. Uber's still good. You're gonna have the sideways, what looks like momentum 4 minutes. So they're still just reconfirming momentum measured move. Still good. Uber. Love still in force on the day. Still good. Just waiting. EVGO reclaims the morning outside bar. So like we said, there's a broadening formation there. On like a 20-minute chart, it's a 3-2-2. And Q's some triangle layout, and there's coming back up still. You can see that intraday continuity. This is an important concept, as you can see. This is your triangle, right? They're too weak to make morning highs, too weak to make morning lows. So they're going to chop them up. Notice how the 60-day, week, and month are all bright green. So when this pokes down and reclaims, you get full time from continuity back into the top of the tri from one side to the other. Pretty neat stuff. Tesla did triangle out, set up fiver hammers after doing so. We'll see if I can set anything else up. 30's a doji at this point, but no 30's down or 60's down, so intraday control, just profit taking. Amazon, slight triangle out 15ers in the discretionary sector. Love triangled out the 15ers as well. AI on the inside day has triggered its inside week PMG AI, Sarah's mentioned. Uber still good. You got double inside fiver Uber at high a day, so just setting up. Mike, sorry about that. XOM closes, you can see after the 15 triangle out, 222 closes as potential 3-2 expando with the 3 resolving higher XOM energies. XLE closes out at the highs, bright green, pivot machine gun, 2-2 weak, now enforce XLE. XOP strongest one, still 2-2 weak in force, closing out at the highs, so hopefully it's not a crowded position and we can see that keep going. OIH triggers 2-2 weak, so simultaneous break, all energies, all crude oil. That is a good thing to know about. We are definitely going to want to hold that until the week reverses, because whenever you trade a simultaneous break, your stop goes at the reversal against, because, and if you're in the boot camp, you know exactly why, but when it comes to simultaneous breaks, it tells us of algorithmic activity, and it's the most definitive buy or sell signal we have in our arsenal of weapons. So if we go to the stops, we have 3 stops: wide, tight, and tightest. Wide is a reversal against your time frame entry. So this is the widest one we do. When we have a simultaneous break, we go wide because we have so much reason to believe it should work. Even if it stops us out over a period of many trades, we will be a winning trader even with the wider stops. And then our level of defense is low, meaning break even stop on a winning position, or by the time next week opens, if it goes 2 up again, reversal against on our entry time frame. So we can use lower levels of risk because as long as this is 2-2 weak and in force, we've got zero reason to believe that's going to fail. Everything in the energies is now going up. Love 22215er to the highs. XOM 3260. So if you didn't add on the reconfirm of the 2-day chart, you can add on that 3260. And what I want to do is I want to load up the weekly charts in here. So I'm only going to say this one more time: is energy simultaneous break. We want to be all over that for certain. Yes, it will be on the morning wood. Sarah's looking to target morning lows at the double bottom from the looks of it. You'll see Q's inside 15, 212 reversal to trigger inside 30, 212 reversal to trigger 2260 reversal, and the Q's a little weaker. Love, high a day still, LOVE. Daily inside bar measured move 212, still good. And by the way, the measured move, when you measure it out, you just go high to low or low to high on there. And you got 17% more to go, just about, which would put you at the outside month low. So that's what we're looking for. XLY discretionary sets up the RevStrat 15er XLY. Google some triangle out 15er and they're setting up inside 30. Well, actually, they're going to go 222 15er Goog to get the next daily pivot, which could get it moving. Google. Amazon also 22215er after the triangle out 15er mention with the 2 month trigger just above Amazon. Yeah, I tried to go after that double bottom, sir, and I flipped it long on the rev strat 2-minute. I'm gonna scalp this account while we chop at all-time highs. DKNG did do some triangle out coming back to the daily break. Still at inside week DKNG. So at this point, we'd say the buyers were too weak to take last week's highs. Therefore, you're going to need additional setups to make that thing move. Uber still good. So you'll see Uber still good, and that's a great thing. You'll see the buy, sideways fiver, buy, still good, and then inside 5 again to confirm and negate Uber. ASND, dang it. I was going to mention it, but I totally didn't. You see this 5-minute try. I had the inside 5 this morning, and I was going to mention that, but it's still chopping them up. But you can see it works, goes other side of the range and breaks the day 2 up. So this would have been a pretty solid one for 4% on ASND. But what we can see is now the daily. This is why you keep the gapper list names on your screens, right? You don't just get rid of them right away. If you're in the gapper universe, which is the most volatile universe, right? Now we're up and out of this try, ASND, and we got good news. So where is it trying to go? Well, you see they went up, made the high, they had the low back in here, chop, 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 chop. Now they're getting out of the try. So above that, they're going back up in there to take all this stuff out. So that's what we'd want to look for. And it would also be on the strat attack list to start the week with the 2-2-week hammer taking out this whole try in one go. And then expansion of the range. Amazon, after 15er triangled out, does make the new highs, so you just want to be aware of that short-term exhaustion. You want to see them stay above those highs. Here's your 15 try, and notice that is trying to expand. So kind of the same idea there. And they stay up and out of that. Love off the 15 or 222 triangle out, still good. And this one's a little illiquid, but the options weren't that bad. If we go back to Dash, or not Dash, Uber. Uber's still at the highs, so you had the daily 1. Sideways fiver, add 2, and we can see how that would look, right? Daily break goes instantly with that 60 in force, so even if you had risking the lows of these fivers or the 60s in here, still good, still going. And then to add to your position, use the intraday actionable signal, such as the inside 5-minute add. And now we have even a momentum hammer up, which personally I don't like adding on the Momo, but not bad. And NASDAQ, they rev stratted that stuff and brought it up. Discretionary, you got the rev strat 15 at high a day. It's still an inside 60 though. Amazon, up they go, expansion of the range. Amazon, Google, up they go, 22215. Google triggers your daily pivot, gets it moving with the 2-2 week with an inside day up in force, confirming the 2s that we saw on Monday, with most things being 2 up. Communications are rev stratting their 30 as well right now. XLC and XLY discretionary. And NASDAQ finally outside of its morning broadening information. They've been chopping up that 60 for a while. Now the question is, do they stay out? Because this is what we see. Right to left looks like this. So can you stay out of that? Or are we going to try and 3-2-2 and reclaim back into these guys? That is our question. And if we look at the cues, similar to Amazon, you see your 15 dry drawn right to left. 1-3-2 rev strat 15 now is expanding that triangle. And it still is going to try and trigger the month, still an inside month at this point. So short-term exhaustion at high day, we'll have to see. Google is met with some slight profit taking at the highs. Along with the NASDAQ, met with some profit taking at the highs. ES and NASDAQ, they are expanding their 60 broadening formation, so I find it hard to believe unless we see, if we go and take a look here. ES, this is the 60 try, this 3 right here. So we go to the 5-minute. You can see they're nowhere near reclaiming that. They'd have to reclaim all this 57270. So they're nowhere near doing yet. So or what we'd like to see is them stay outside of that morning range. NASDAQ, similarly, you can see they're staying outside of that for now. Love still hitting the highs. Uber, there's your second daily pivot target, so we'd love to see 74.46 next. We get daily short-term exhaustion up here, 73.58. Energies are like the second or the first strongest sector in the market today. I'd say communications and XLY, they're stronger, but they are into some exhaustion, which is the only issue at the all-time highs. Whereas the energies now, if these weekly signals work, we got a lot of range to come back through. So I guess we'll see, right? And everyone, all over across the board, everyone's like bearish energies. Everyone's selling energies. Like it's this and this and that. The economy, this and that. So normally that's where the best 2-2 reversals are going to occur, is when everyone's thinking the wrong or the opposite thing. So, hopefully we can catch a really good one here off the lows. That's my hope here. You quite literally have every energy doing it. If we go to the only one I don't know about, CCJ and URA. Yeah, so uranium, that's the only thing that's not, but everything else is. And if we go to N phase, solar, that's even coming up, N phase. Wow, they got a pretty nice move today. You can see two up to start the week. What about FSLR? Remember FSLR, 322 day on a Tuesday. So FSLR is even. So you can see it's even the solars. It's interesting. And then SEDG is also solar, I believe, Solar Edge or something. I'm trying to think. Run from last week. So remember buying Run and creating winning positions? Has the week gone to 2? It has. So Run, still good to hold with the winning positions. Nowhere near taking the month up yet, though. So maybe for next month. We go tan in the energies. We can also have that up. You can see tan, just like we were talking about last week with the simultaneous gaps where they just buy everything. That tells you they went and bought everything in the solar. So that's following through this week by going 2 up after closing closer to a 2-2 reversal. So all the energies, including solars, are recovering while everyone's screaming the energies are falling, right? So this is an interesting, very interesting market, I would say, or an interesting reversal. Tesla setting up some inside 60s. Wonder if we can't get some triangle expando in here this morning on ES. NASDAQ also has an inside bar right at the expando level on the triangles. Same with the Dow Jones. IBM already has been expando since the morning 5-minute try. It's like ES might be reversing up in here. Let's see what the continuity looks like. Why the heck does it keep doing this to me? Nowhere near 60 reversal, 30 is a doji. 15er would be shooter counter hammer, which is the only thing that you don't have to worry about. It looks like you got some hammer 15s across most of the indexes, so they may try and flip them in on the 30 flip, but you're going to be inside 30, 60 Dow. IBM is going to be 3-2 up in red 30 if that 15 does break. Use would be reclaiming a 30 equilibrium with the 3-2-2 15er. So could have some issues from high day exhaustion risk on this stuff. Fifteens don't close for another 4 minutes, so we'll see. Adobe is one of the weakest names I got you if things are going to be weak. 3-2-2-15 and Adobe would be full time frame continuity, confirming 3-2 week, confirming outside month potentially. Uber after short-term daily exhaustion at 73.58 hasn't really came back in or anything, but could have a 15 on the 30 flip if things in the market do that. So you might want to reduce on that, or at least keep your stops in profit slash even. NVIDIA on the 30 flip would be 15 into a 30 rev strat. Still conflicted and stuck inside a week, so not the best. Prefer Adobe. You see NASDAQ, so the 5-minute try. Expando can quickly turn into back through the try, which is why you have to be super aware when you're trading at the edges like this, that you are at that exhaustion risk. At this point, you see the 3-2 up in red. They go green to red and reclaim this 3. Now, are they going to 2-2 that 15 and actually 3-2-2 and start reclaiming all this? And what we can look at this as is like a rev strap. We're going to see this. These 3 stuck inside of these 3. Pokes up and then reclaim. They're trying to go outside of that. Like Adobe back below previous 15 open, they're going to go 3 likely. NASDAQ goes 3-3 on the 15er after reclaiming. So broadening formation, broadening formation. IBM is still relatively pretty strong in comparison. Let's see SPY intraday. We got some nice triangle out, stopping some guys out. All right, new 30s open. Mine the 30 flip. Q's gonna close closer to a rev strat 30 on the flip. On the 15, we have that outside 15. So if that changes continuity and tries to come back through, that would be coming back through an outside 15. Obviously, we prefer to get these 30-60s moving so you can get some bigger range. So hopefully you can get some nice stuff there. Dow Jones still inside 60, closer to an inside 30 down during the inside 60, which is an aggressive way to play. We'd prefer to wait. SPY could become 2230 down, 3115. Doji on the day at this point. I prefer to wait a little bit. And IDBM is still above its 60 open, showing relative strength in the small cappers. Financials are holding up a little stronger than the rest. Closer to an inside 30 up on this flip right away. 225ers to trigger a 15er to trigger a 30. See ES and the oneers, they're already trying to send them back through that previous range after triangling out these guys to the penny. NASDAQ still a little weaker. YM, let's see. Still prefer to get the other side of that range, but at this point, the sellers are too weak to take the morning lows out. They're slow grind back in, going inside fiver. So you're going to have some triangled out Amazon on the 5-minute broadening formation. Slight lower low. Triangle out on love. While the whole market did that, you got very small baby little broadening formations in the energies, so they're still strong. And you can see SPY in this little oneer try to grind them back up. Qs, there's your double inside oneer. So they firmed up and now they break up, still inside 15s. Netflix. Netflix inside month 3-1. We are the 17th day of the month. You have 2-2 week, which could change that. You have a momentum hammer day, which is into short-term daily exhaustion. You got short-term exhaustion 60s, and you're going to need a triangle day out. So notice you are trying to buy at the top of every broadening formation from the month all the way to the week. We want to buy at the bottom back through previous range. So prefer not to buy it up here. Love Sack's awesome. We have some. I'm trying to think. I think we have a condo. It's like an hour away in our family, and like we all use it. It is we have some like chairs where you talk to the chairs to make them like go in and out, and they're really comfy chairs. I think they're Love Sack or couch. I mean, not chair. 27% short interest in Love. Yeah. Know what price tells me? We already knew they were short. Send them back through. You got that triangle out on the 15. Obviously, it's a little illiquid in here, but see if I can't get them going. Rev Strat 2-minute in the NASDAQ. Still an inside 15, sadly enough. Careful of size and love. Yeah. But the fact that it doesn't trade much also means when you go and get in there, you cause those shorts to get even more in trouble really quick. Like looking at this monthly, how is that not going to keep going? The month, the week, the day, the 60, everything tells us it's a buy. Unless it goes 2-2 reversal tomorrow, we're in, right? What I want you to recognize is how much different the trading is when you are back through previous range, down and left, down in here on the NASDAQ versus gap up into recent highs or into previous range. If you go on Qs on the 60, so yes, we have a previous range up and left, but we are into recent highs, right? We want to go back through previous range and then into the recent highs. So when they gap it up like this, top of the broadening formation, you can't do that much there unless you get some triangle out entries. Now, if we compare that to this, broadening formation, poke up, poke down, poke up, 3-2-2, fun to say, fun to do, actionable signal, back through previous range here, and then also back through previous range here, up and left. Boom, takes all of them. Whereas this, see, there was, yes, 2-1-2 reversal, 2-1-2 continuation, get in there, right, all the way back up. But then they get up here and we're not seeing any expansion out of this stuff. Unlike last time where you can see they close up and out of this range, close up and out, and then you get this range expansion bigger. We're not seeing that, right? We need to get that expansion for us. And if it's not expanding right away, then you need the triangle layout, right? So when we look at the 5-minute, this is triangle layout, right? Slight poke down after the slight poke up. So if we could go into here and take this stuff out, maybe we can get stuff going, right? The bigger the triangle layout, the better, so you have some more magnitude, but we are stuck. Inside 30, inside 15, doji on the day. Love, inside 5 and up. By the way, we do have energy numbers coming out Wednesday, so that's something we can look forward to at least with the Fed as well later that day, Wednesday. I think the easiest trade, if we could get it, would be like triangle they out in here to try and take out the morning lows. Russell's still at the highs of the IWM, like that relative strength we picked up on last week, still following through. It's already at its weekly magnitude, but very interesting to see such strength in the small cappers. And we picked that up like, I think it was Tuesday last week or Wednesday. You'll have some 3-1 15ers in the discretionary. You'll have some double inside 30s / inside 60s. So you got 20 minutes to 60 flips. You have a lot of inside bars there. SMMT we mentioned as one of the bearish signals, 2-2 on a Tuesday. It is coming in. It's down 9.93% today, so not a bad one. Could go outside weak, right? 2 go 3 in there, and you'll see the bearish emoji next to it. Norfolk Southern, not so much really at all today. And then as far as the upside signals are just kind of meandering. NVIDIA's stuck inside 60 and no 30 or 60 signals besides a 2-on-2 directional 30, which went nowhere and got stuck. We go Google. Google did have some 15s in there, right? But now it's 15s against, and it's trying to go 30s against. So we'll see if they triangle they out, stop some of these guys out before maybe later today getting some stuff for us going. And then ASTS, we haven't talked much about that. It was gap up sell to start the day. I've not changed that. And then if we go to AI, it did take the week and the day up. So we'll see, needs to set up more later today. DKNG. Still kind of meandering right where the 2-2 day is. Has not taken the week up yet. And then Uber, after short-term exhaustion, you had the triangle out. Now you can see the fivers are starting to come back. So 2 up 15, 2 down. Now can you go 2-2-2 and get it going again to the upside? If we go on Love, they had the 15 triangle up, but that's still very good, and it's one of the main ones I like today. Tesla 15 into 3222. Tesla 3222. My computer's starting to lag for some reason. Love it when that happens. Like there's a 3-1-2 up on the NASDAQ to start, through into reversal with full time frame continuity. That's the cues. Could it turn into rev strat, it could. So we'll see. Bitcoin's flying. MSTR goes inside day up in the Bitcoiners. MSTR. It's like all the Bitcoiners went 2-2 on a Tuesday as well. All the miners doing that. Yeah. I'm not sure if anyone remembers talking about the XRP not long ago, waiting for that to set up to get moving. But XRP, you have finally gotten a setup in here for the crypto guys. The 311 on the month could go 312. And it looks very similar to Bitcoin in the fact that you kind of have this like 2-week T2 reversal pattern. Up in here, it'd be a rev strat in XRP. And maybe if it doesn't go this month, then we can look for it next month. Love inside 312.15 up, so triangle out, 5er in setup gets going, 15 312 confirms that in the month, potential 3 27.81. So with the high short interest 27.81, we'll see if that starts triggering some stops. Looking for the 30s, ideally 31 32 is still what we want to target. Love. You can see that beautiful looking chart there. Look at the 2-day chart, 312, boom. Just like a momentum measured move on the 2-day chart, it's just a 1-day chart, we see it better. We go back to Kroger. It's the same exact thing. It's so pretty. So NASDAQ is, changing 15 continuity in there. Not the best look as far as longs go. So this is where I personally, it's not that I struggle, but I can't really tell you what's going to happen because, so we're 3-on-2 up, we have full time frame continuity. If we're above this 15 open, that's still true, right? So it's almost like that would be the reclaim. If they were to change that, then it changes. But how much continuity down do we actually have? It's like none, right? So it's just the 15 determining control because we are, if we go on the 60, a 1 on the 60. So what I'd say is since the 15 is 2 up, we prefer just, make it go up unless it goes rev strat and changes to 2 down. But in this type of stuff, this is where I personally am going to struggle the most, simply because it's hard to say. Right? Maybe it works, maybe it does not. And if it were to fail, it's rev strat, right? So we'd want to know if it fails. And if it were to work, it's not rev strat, which means the inside bar break works. So it's just a matter of, do they confirm that or negate that? And right now, looking at all the other 15s, they're all 2s up. So they're all confirming each other to the upside. Microsoft, you're trying to take trades 10 minutes before the 60 flip. Prefer not to do that, and you're doing it into an inside 60. I can understand if you're trying to set something up, but you are, like, it just makes way more sense to wait for that 60 signal, in my opinion. You see NASDAQ, they do 5 minute and negate the 15. And again, it's like, we'll see. It's just all intraday guys. But it is rev strat. You can see it goes instantly off the 5er back through previous range. Does give you that kind of triangle layout of the mother bar. Now we're still in inside 60. Can you change that? Your regional banks are still gunning, and as we had picked out yesterday with discernible trends, the regional banks are the only ones. So for the swingers that were able to get in there, not too shabby. And we're coming in on the KRE magnitude 5807 at this point. So prior to the news coming out on Wednesday, I believe that Wednesday Fed, yes, you want to know about that. While the market's kind of sideways here, energy is still looking pretty solid. Just at the highs, look at OIH, just blasting them off. Two up to start the week, and that is your strat attack for certain. So, and when we say strat attack, what we mean is they bought Monday, came back again, and we have higher time frame signals. So we got weekly in force. They bought Monday and Tuesday, and it's a simultaneous break. So we go and attack the energy sector all week with any signal we can look for, because if they bought Monday and Tuesday and it's a simultaneous break and they have magnitude back their previous range, we pretty much know where it's going, and we know we have so much evidence telling us that's the case that it should work, right? So the logical thing to do is go and attack that stuff and try and get add to any open position you can create. maybe this is something we could teach about while the market kind of chops here. So the biggest losing trade we're going to see most people taking is trading a scenario 1 or trading against scenario 2s or 2s going 3 against them. And therefore the winning trade is going to look like trading a scenario 2 in your favor or a scenario 3 in your favor. And therefore, when we look at something, for example, like the NASDAQ, we're talking about this 15 inside bar, saying, well, it's a reversal, yes, with continuity, yes, but we're stuck inside 60, stuck inside 30. So we don't know if that's going to rev strat or not. In fact, if it does start failing, it's more likely to rev strat because of those inside bars on the bigger time frames. So why is that the case? And red to green, or green to red on communications, XLC communications. So anything 2 down communications you can go after. But that being said, when we go and look at these time frames, so you can see the 5 minute, that's where the direction is being chosen because the intraday 5 minute and 15 groups are a 2. So it's going to trade in the direction of the 2 and 2 going 3 on the 5 and 15. So the 5 went 2 up, traded up, and then 2 down, now it's going down. And the 2 on the 15 went 2 up and then red, so that's failed, right? And now we go inside 5 again. So it was going down for 5 minutes and now it's stuck. And we would go and tab through these bigger time frames. We get a 6 minute inside bar, 7 minute inside bar, 8 minute inside bar, 9 minute inside bar, 10 minute in 2-2 rev strat. Okay, 11 could become a rev strat. And you can see how now these time frames are starting to break. And as we go up these time frames, 14, 15, 16, 17 minutes, you'll see how these inside bars are across all these time frames, which tells us, like, if you are a 30-minute group, right, you haven't been triggered in yet. Because if you were short the previous 30, you're looking to take these lows out to do something, either add or just hold your position, or looking to take these highs out to get out of your position. And, you know, there's going to be trades being done in there. If you go to the 60, still inside. So if you're a 60 group, you're still doing nothing, right? Short, so like they bought it all the way up, took their profit all the way down, and now nothing has to happen. If you're long against morning lows, you get to stay long. If you're long against this, you get to stay long. If you're short against this stuff, you get to stay short. So they don't have to do anything. So when you're trading inside higher time frame, what's more likely to occur is this. And we can see in the morning what happened here. So we don't take morning highs or morning lows out. You'll see they go up, and then you're going to start the new broadening series. They poke up, they poke down, slight lower lows to this. And then you can see they get stuck inside again. Slight higher high, or slight lower highs, then lower lows, and then still slight lower highs. These buyers are not that strong, right? And then lower lows, and then higher highs, and you can see they take out the bigger range in here. So what's going to happen is you're going to start your broadening formation, and then eventually once that range is big enough, right, it's going to get so big that once you take out both sides of that broadening formation, you will take out the bigger range that you're stuck within, wherever that may be or however big that may be. So when we're looking at this, what's going to happen is, like we were seeing on those bigger time frames, is now the 15 turns into a rev strat. The 30 is still a 1, so that's got to break, right? And then that could start causing this stuff to get out of here, right? Taking out all these pivots, causing these 30 groups in the morning to do something. The 60 would be caused to a 3-2-2 break, 3-2 up, 2 down. And a lot of people just trade those for good reason. If we go to the Qs in here this morning, you can see what it'd look like is slight lower low, slight higher high, and then maybe we get the 3-2-2. They're still stuck in here. So if we take a look at something like love, a lot of people will chop themselves up trading this 1-1 on the day. It's like just getting killed. And you may not trade that specifically, but if you're trading during inside 60s, inside weeks, inside months, you're doing exactly that same thing. And then they'll be like, Alex, you say 3-2s are meant to go instantly. And it goes 3-2. It does not go instantly. And then it breaks inside bar, and then 3-2, and it makes the highs, and then it goes nowhere. And then it goes inside down, back to the other side of the range, reclaiming this 3. But it doesn't take the lows of the 3. And you're like, Alex, price when it fails one side of the range is supposed to take the other, is it not? And when I take my signals, they should go instantly, shouldn't they? And you get really confused. because you're trading during a higher time frame inside bar, where those scenarios we've talked about and taught about, where price goes instantly, where if it fails one side, it's going to the other side. Those things, they're not true, but they're less likely to occur during consolidation on higher time frames because it's going sideways, not going anywhere. Now, when it starts going somewhere and we get out of this mother bar, those things are now true. So price, when it fails one side, is going to the other. That's how we saw create this broadening formation. When it exits the broadening formation, it is attempting to expand and and make that range bigger, which we're seeing today. So as long as it closes out up there, we look really good going into the rest of this. And we're no longer chopping them up, doing absolutely nothing. You see the week, right? Looks very good. And then the month, that's a rev strat where it goes stuck, chop, 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 poke down, reclaim. Now price, when it fails one side of the range, go into the other. So we're going to look for that. Communications today on the 60s, sideways chart, you had a sideways 60 down. If you go to the normal charts, 2260, you'll see on a 2-hour chart, shooter 2-hour. So communications from exhaustion risk, gap up and sell on a 2-hour basis. And you're going to have this. Obviously, it's conflicted 60 and day against week and month. So they're overriding 60 and day communications. Microsoft did give you the 2 down on the 60, so it got you moving. 3-2-15 and does that on a 2-hour, 2 up, 2 down. And the NASDAQ, we are getting that lower high and that rev strat off the 5. So 2 down, 2 down, 2 down, still giving control. You can see the rev strat. Double inside 5, poke up, shooter, reclaim, changing what's occurring intraday. Now the 30 goes inside and down in the NAS. And for just sake of example, been scalping this stuff intraday. Finally, you can see some buy to close here, market. But you can see that sideways, they poke up. I did have a long on the 15th with one contract, and then I took one contract short. Then I added to the contract short, makes the lows, and now we're good to go. And I had some drawdown yesterday on the futures because they were choppy yesterday morning, but pay for that and then some today. GC puke. Two up in red week, conflicted. 2 up, 2 down sheer day, yeah. And the 60, you got a 3-2 reversal. So we were not strong enough to go to the top of that try. They made the slight higher high to this and then sub-triangled them. I kind of gave up on it after they started chopping them up in here. Stopped watching it. Google Shooter 2260 from daily short-term exhaustion mentioned by Solanke. So SPY is closer to a 2260, third 60 of the day, which would negate day and 60 groups, controlling or overriding the monthly and weekly groups. SPY is still a 1 though. Qs would 222 the 60. It's slight shooter counter hammer type setup. Day and 60 would override. Could even negate the week, but we'll see. Dow Jones is not participating at that. IBM is still to the highs, relative strength. Crazy stuff in IBM. Energy's still at the highs inside 30. XLE, XOP, and OIH is a 1 right now, but the other two have inside 30 signals to break. Energy's XLE, XOP. Gives you CVX, which is continuing. XOM, which would be a 222. EOG, which is 30 to confirm weekly signal. EOG. FANG, which is 3260 and expanding still from the morning session, reconfirming. You got big weekly try and FANG in here. Poke up, poke down, and then reclaim this week in FANG. Uber maced it up a 30, good mention. Uber, I believe, is communications or like I don't know if it's, I know Dash is communications, so Uber, you want to be careful of that XLC. It's negating the morning open, so anyone long in communications, they're having issues. That's definitely something we would want to know. That gives you things like Roblox, which could 2-2 day, have not done that yet though. So 1312 Roblox, triggered by RevStrat 15 right now, Roblox. So watch the 15, 30, 60 Roblox. 15, 30, 60 Roblox. SPY does break a 30 down, trying to trigger a 60 slight PMG on the 30 SPY. Hughes is technically 30s down. They're not doing much right away. Dow Jones, nothing. IDBM 2 up into the highs. So still buy and take the offer, do it now, IDBM. And that's going to be your regionals. Again, we've specifically gave you that all of yesterday. We said go after those regionals. That's where we got the discernible trend. So here's your magnitude regionals, 5807 KRE. KBE is also to magnitude today. And then banking ETFs are lagging behind a little bit, which is going to be like your Bank of America's, your Citigroups, Goldman Sachs, all that stuff. They're just lagging behind the regionals. And you can see, so when we're looking at the market view, it's just super obvious. All the energies to the highs, all the regionals and banking, smaller banking ETFs to the highs, XLF to the highs. And then IDBM, which is part of all those regionals and energies, right? We also got some retail stuff. And now we're going to go and update what we put in yesterday's free chat. Hughes after 30s takes 60s down. SPY is working on it. And then down IDBM, just nowhere near doing that with communications. Tech inside 60 down XLK, which confirms your Microsoft. All right, so the flip on Microsoft, they did go and sell it for you if you're one of those guys. I know someone mentioned it in the chat. But it's going to be your XLK inside 60 down, IYZ, which is like communications, T and VZ, I believe. And then communications XLC is just 2 hour to the downside continuation. And they're selling off some gold. I still believe, it might be triangle out, but I personally have no position there today. Don't got too much to add to that. Oh, what did I do? Come on, Alex. Aha. Awesome. All right. So this is today. Did some funded account stuff. Stats today were not that impressive. So gross fees and commissions included 2,100 today. I did have drawdown yesterday due to the choppy market in the morning. That being said, though, made it all back and then some. 32% win rate, so you don't need that much. If we go in here, you'll see in the morning, got some stops in the gold. I was actually trading it before we even got on the stream. So what I've noticed is when it comes to where my stops normally happen, it's pre-market. Because after pre-market happens is when the volatility starts really kicking in more, and it's easier to get into positions where people are offsides. Whereas pre-market, like it may move a little bit, but it has trouble getting those really explosive moves prior to the New York Open. So maybe I just don't do that, or I should be getting up even earlier, like 6:30, or is it? I think it's 6:30 normally when that news embargo lifts. So maybe changing that. But that being said, though, main trades was just scalps, really, because there's been nothing else of substance when it comes to what's going on here. So if we go to the NAS, really the key is just trading off the edges of the broadening formations using that continuity. So this morning, one of my trades was this on the 2 minute, 2-2 up in here, just risking low a day with one contract. And I'm not risking all the way low day. If it was all the way back down here, I'd probably stop it out before it hits low day, just because of what we know to be true, right? But it goes 2-2, then short-term exhaustion here. So I expect they're going to stop them out. They do. And then we can get it all the way up in here, and this is where I took one off. I actually added in this. First entry here, they triangle out, and then I got a second one in here, and all the way up. Reduced one, and then in here I let it chop around. Did not get anything on the second one. And then the same thing with the broadening formation here and here. I tried both this entry back through, did not work. And I also tried this entry back through, did work, makes the highs. And what I should have done is I closed, right, half of it, and I closed all of it. What I should have done is just flipped it short, though, given we've seen just chop, chop, chop all day, right? That being said, though, when it went 10-minute down, I took some scalp into here, down into here, reduced, or yeah, I believe it's reduced. And then on the inside 15, the sideways 15 up, I did try and buy it. And when I saw that shooter 5 and mention it on the stream, I flipped it short to rev strat these guys, which you can see we did to the pennies. And that was what closes out pretty much my morning here. Now, you can still keep trading it because look at this. You get the slight lower lows, bottom of the broadening formation, trading at the edges, and 2-2 hammer actionable signal with full time frame continuity, the 5, 60 day, week, month, all in your favor. And we could also even add 15, the 30s, all of that stuff into here. New pane above, 5, 15. As you can see right now, the 60 kind of sideways. But the importance is if you trade at exhaustion risk, expecting the reversal, even when you stop out, so like let's say 225er, risk the reversal against. Why? If this works, 15 is still good, which means the 15 reversal against is also at the same spot. If it works, it's a rev strat 30, which means you get to add to it above that if it sets up in 12 minutes. So maybe not. We're kind of chopping them up in here, so I'm not expecting much. And then the 60 is still 1, so you really got nothing, right? So at this point, what would we prefer? Do nothing simply because you're stuck inside 60. Or are you closer to a 2 up or 2 down 60? You'd be closer to 2 down. So if it goes shooter, counter, hammer, actionable signal, you could hit it there, try and trigger the 60, hit it again, try and trigger low day, and then question mark. Right? What happens? I'd prefer the latter on that, right? But if you were trading at the tops and bottoms of the broadening formations, that is where the easiest ones are going to happen, simply because right when it changes, all those guys who are shorting into the lows or the highs instantly have to go and get out. So when I say that, what I don't mean is you'll always have to be coming off of new high a day or new low of day like this during the trading hours. But specifically, you can see something like this. So broadening formation, you draw it right to left. You want 3 dots you can connect. When it comes into the top of this and then retraces 2 up in red, right there you hit it. 3-2 continuation, right there you hit it. And then there's probably a 5er in there, and then low a day, now question mark, right? 2-2-2, either add back, or maybe you're reduced on this first one against, perfect, fine. Add back, 2-2-2, hammer 1er in here, right? Flip it or exit. So exit and then wait. And then 2-2-1er, full intraday continuity, flip everything long. Boom. So missing out on this, but using that continuity to time that, where you can see the continuity this morning also times this. If you go to Qs, you can see it's not specifically high day or low day. It's the top or bottom of the broadening formation. Right at the top of it, and then goes straight to the bottom. And this is when that hammer 1er occurred. We were talking about that. And all the way through. And the same stuff. And on days like today, it may be better to not trade and instead just practice drawing these out and seeing them happen as in real time. So right to left. Because you'll see they get really small, boom. Rev strat on the 2 minute, rev strat 1er, all the way up. And then you can see in here, they do grind it, and then right in here, the 5 to 15 change, which changes the 30, 60, and the day, and then takes them all out. And then they chop them up again. Poke up, poke down, poke up, reclaim, slight lower highs, reclaim, takes out the lows, and then short-term exhaustion. Now they're still trying to firm up. And when the market's chopping, it's probably the best time to practice just on 1 minute, because you'll have so many different tries to draw out, so you can see, like, oh, it goes, fails to make new highs right in here, poke up, red, down they go, takes the lows out, expansion, shooter confirm, 3-2 reversal, boom, 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 it expands, and then you can see and come back up in, slight higher highs, slight lower lows. Now you got the new one. And the third poke up, 3-2 rev strat reversal, boom. Then 2-2 reversal, low day again, boom. And this try gets bigger, like this. Inside oneer, boom. Inside oneer, confirm, boom. Up they go. 2-2 against, right there. Slight poke up, slight poke down. There's the new try again. Gets bigger even more so. Stuck inside the previous range, and then you can see chop, chop, chop. So what do you want? Bottom of that broadening formation down in here. 1, 2, pivot machine gun. Then you can see the take out the highs up in here. And then you complete this big try again, right to left. And now it's even bigger. And then you'll see at the top of the try, they get stuck, poke up, poke down, poke up, shooter, poke down, back up, and then slight triangle layout, and then expansion of the range, and access support, and you can see it gets kind of bigger this morning. Even in the morning session, right, yesterday on the Q's 5-minute, when we were talking about the expansion of this stuff, let's see, poke up, poke up, poke up. And the slight lower low closes out, lower high, expansion, low a day, and then you get this monstrous morning try. Poke up, poke down, and then takes all of overnight session to get the poke up in here. Looks like Uber is 22230. It is still an inside 60 for the 212 measured move. Uber, full time frame continuity, day, week, and month could become enforced today above 74.46. So Uber measured move would do that. Uber. And you still got 40 minutes for that. Regional banks right at your magnitude. Look at this on the week. Boom, grind it up all day. 225er. There's your magnitude on your weekly as mentioned. KBE is the same. IBM is 2215 some PMG this morning. So what are Top Steps rules? I know I'm kind of learning from you guys at these funded accounts. What are the rules with payouts? AMAT QCOM 60's up. Yeah, Google, you still are conflicted. So the weekday 60 went 2 down, yes, but the day is still green. So look at the 5-minute. And we don't see any of the indexes coming in. But 5 minutes, so now poke up, shooter, 222, poke down, 2-2, now lower high in here, slight higher low. How are you getting out of this? Chop shop just started in here. Okay, 5 days of 200 plus non-consecutive. So if I did like 2,000, 1,000, 2,000, 1,000, 2,000, 1,000, that would count. Sick. And then you can request up to 50% when you withdraw the. Yeah, so you can't go past 0. Like yesterday I was at like negative 900 or something. Can't do that anymore after you withdraw, right? And is that drawdown? I imagine it's not end of day. I imagine that's just all real time. Okay. So if I can make $2,000 every day, what? because I got the account Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if I made, I guess I'd have to go up into next week Monday, so I could withdraw 5 grand. Okay. And then 30 days up to 100%. Awesome. So it sounds like next week Monday, I should get a nice paycheck. As long as I don't go in tomorrow with the Fed and blow it up on something stupid. And I don't want to do that. That's not my plan. But COP, you got 2 week energies. So as long as that's the case, 2-day pattern reconfirmed, just like the XOM did. A little stronger than the COP, but really good stuff. Look at these energies. 30s XOM good, XLE off the 30s good, XOP off the 30s good, then COP. So this is the thing. When everything in the energies goes inside 30 up, everything already going up has no reason to reverse. So you could have bought it right up in here. Risking 8 cents to get in with more. As far as entries now that you're waiting, since you've kind of missed this stuff, you want to get these lower time frame stuff, because you can see today the 15 here, the 15 here, that's about it. If you want to get reversals, probably in the 5-minute, you got this big 3 cooking up in here, so that'd be something along those lines. You can, when you miss entries, you can start going to like different time frame charts, like the 4-day and the 5-day, the 6-day, right? And you can start doing that type of stuff to try and figure out where the next 2-2 or inside bar break is. But personally, I'd rather just let that triangle out. So what does that mean? Where does everyone got their stops? Back down in this stuff. Also, the tight stop guys up in here, right? So stop some guys out, and then give you full time from continuity 2-2 or 1-2 back up. Well, everybody, boys and girls, ladies and gents, I think we're just gonna kind of call it a day. There's not too much we can say is going on. Obviously, financials, they kind of finished off the move we were looking for yesterday to get that going this week, and that's about it. Does look like staples. We maybe missed some short signals in there. Coke and Pepsi went 32260s. Coke just recently did that, so you got a half hour to go after that if you would like. It's kind of just meh in there. It does look like you got some Utes coming back in, 322 as well with the staples, 322. Healthcare's inside down, still confirming to the downside. So it's interesting. There's a lot of profit taking going on today. prior to the news. Uber is still up at the highs, so that's still staying good. Love, you do have some profit taken at the highs. Still good on the 30s, but closer to a 2-2 back down. Or 60s, I mean. Adobe, you got the 1-3-30, so all you do is draw out the try and say how you getting out of that. And then you say, do I want to trade this try if it's only like $3 on a $500 stock? Probably not. We're going to wait. Let them triangle they out and grow. It's like Q's is RevStrat 30, so maybe something. But that's going to be about it today. We will have the Fed tomorrow. So the way that works is we'll look at the financial names, see what sets up tonight. I imagine unless they close out strong today, there's profit taking. We might get some shooters. And then tomorrow, normally the Fed will come out. You get this nice broadening information, then it'll trade back through it. So that's what we'll look to do. And that's about all I've got. I know it's kind of been a slow start to the week, but it's a Fed week, so it's kind of to be expected so far. That being said, the last thing I can say is you just got RevStrat 30, so maybe the 1-2-2 gets moving. It's kind of hit or miss. It's fine to be patient and wait. Tomorrow we'll probably have a good amount of simultaneous breaks across the market to go after. That being said, though, that is about all I've got for you guys. So I'll see you guys then. We'll have the Strat nightly vid out tonight on some specific names, and that will be about it. So adios and have a great rest of your day.